August 28th, 1984. This is Joe Todd at interview with Mr. Solomon Fields.
Hit me through a little bit, huh?
Yeah. What's your full name?
Solomon Field, F-I-E-L-D.
Fields. Where were you born?
Oklahoma, County.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Who's your father?
William Field.
William Field.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call her? Cameron?
Who's your mother?
My mother was Levani Scott Field.
I noticed you have a patch on there that says Light Horseman. You know anything about the old Creek Light Horseman?
No, I'll just read a history about that. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about it.
What were they?
They must
Why
have been
were they
scouts or something.
organized?
I don't know what it was. I never did read a history on it yet.
When I was talking to Woodrow Haney, he said that each councilman had a warrior that went with him to the council
What it
meeting.
was.
You know about that?
No, I don't have.
What kind of work did your father do?
He was a farmer.
Plumber?
Mm-hmm. Farmer.
Oh, farmer. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, farmer.
I just remember that a little bit. He used to have horses and hogs, chickens. Depression, after Depression, he wound up nothing.
Yeah. When is your birthday?
April 14, 1925.
1925. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the Depression in the 30s.
I don't know too much about this. See, like I just woke up and I just know a little bit about it. I mean, that's the only thing I know about my dad had a bunch of horses and hogs, chickens, and everything. The next thing I knew, he didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm. Did you keep the farm?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You said that you went to the Uchi.
Uchi boarding school. Uchi boarding school.
Where's that located?
It was southeast part of town there, right there, right just a few yards from there.
There in,
maybe a couple hundred yards from there.
that's in Sepulveda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were sold by the creeks, I guess.
Mm-hmm. When was that school organized?
I really don't know when it was organized.
How old were you when you went there?
But I was about 12, 13 years old.
Did when you went to school there, did they did you talk Creek at home?
That's the only thing I knew when I started school.
And then when you went to school there, did they let you talk Creek?
Yeah.
They did.
I went to talk Creek all the time.
Did they try to teach you English there?
Yeah.
At the boarding school?
Mm-hmm.
Did they let you talk Creek
Yeah.
too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good.
A lot of them didn't.
Yeah.
What did you study there? What was your?
It was even when I was in school.
Yeah, there at Uchi.
They had a place called Home 1 and Home 2. I stayed in Home 1 when I got there. It was where the younger ones stayed.
Mm-hmm.
And the old ones stayed in Home 2.
Okay, what did you study at Home 1? What kind of classes did you take?
Well, it's just a regular school, just like a public school there.
Mm-hmm.
They had a school out there on the grounds there. For young
Remember
ones.
any of your teachers?
I think one of them was Hamilton. Last name was Hamilton, but I forget her first name.
Who was the superintendent when you were going there?
Well, I used to know a man named Mr. Jibo, something like that.
What was he like? What kind of man was he?
He teaches farm work, teaching how to make gardens and all kind of home.
Was that in Home 1 or Home 2?
Home 2.
Home 2?
Mm-hmm.
How old do you have to be to go to Home 2?
Well, when you go to high school, I think I had to be around 15, 16 years old.
Were they next to each other?
Yeah,
Home
one over here, building over this way.
Okay.
One south, one north.
How big was the school? How many acres did it cover?
Well, let's see. 15, 20 acres somewhere on there.
Mm-hmm.
Might be 20 acres, 26 acres around there.
How many buildings were there?
Let's see, About 5
5?
that I know of. I remember.
What were they built of? Were they stone, wood,
Yeah, lumber, yeah.
lumber?
Mm.
Did you raise most of your food there at the school?
That's where they raised there.
Okay, so it's
They had a little place there where they...
basically self-supporting.
Teaching how to do that, cooking too. That we helped around cooking, kitchen, working in the kitchens.
Did you live in a dormitory?
That's what it was, dormitory.
Yeah. How many boys were in home 1 in the dormitory?
I really don't know. There's quite a few boys there.
Yeah.
Two-story buildings. That's what they were.
Two-story. What was your room decorated like? What'd you have in your room?
Well, they had a fire escape around there, and they had a bunch of beds around there.
Did you have a separate room? Was it one big bay?
There's one big place there.
One big bay.
Like army dormitory.
Okay. Did you have your own closet? Where'd you keep your clothes?
I don't remember that. We probably had our own place, I guess, to keep clothes at.
Do you have bunk beds like they have in the Army?
Yeah. And, one big shower place where you take a shower at and all that.
Was home 2 like that also?
Same way.
Did you go to school all the way through till you finished?
No, I just quit school. And I couldn't speak too much English yet then, so I quit to Arkansas. I went to when I was 17 years old. Went to Arkansas.
What part of Arkansas?
Springdale. They had a place called Wells Grape Juice Company there. There's some kind of cannery there.
What'd you do for them?
Well, I worked on a boxcar, the one 300-pound I had to drag across there and put it in the hole and ship it up. And when I turned 18, I came back and went in the Navy. That's all I know.
How old were you when you joined the Navy?
18. Volunteered and went in the Navy.
What year?
Like 43.
43? Tell me, what'd you do during the war in the Navy?
Well, I worked in the boiler room and on the ship, aircraft carrier.
Which one? Which one? Which aircraft?
Aircraft carrier, Bataan.
Bataan?
USS Bataan.
And you worked in the boiler room? What'd you do?
Keeping the power, every time the ship speed up, but they put more oil to it, the air and oil and everything.
Was it oil burner? What battles were you in?
We go to New Guinea, Philippines, just here and there, a whole bunch of ships there, fighting ships, aircraft carrier, cruisers, destroyers.
Were you in the Battle of the Coral Sea?
I wasn't there quite old that year. I just went to New Guinea and Philippines and all them islands out there. Ulysses and...
Were there any other Creeks or Indians that you remember were on the ship with you?
No, I was by myself on that I know of. I mean. After I got off there, I went on a gasoline tanker called USS Genesee. And there was another Indian guy, but he was from the states, named Stafford.
What did you do in the gasoline tanker?
I was just a seaman.
The seaman?
Yeah.
What was your job? What did you do?
Well, just tying up the ship when they get to the docks and maybe painting the ship.
I assume the gasoline tanker hauled gasoline.
Yeah.
How many gallons would it hold?
Well, they had big old 10 tanks on there. Took 25 steps to get to the bottom, going down 25 steps. There big old 10 tanks on there.
When you were on that one,
huh?
where did you serve mainly? What area? When you were on the gasoline tanker? What
part of the world were you in?
Still Pacific?
Yeah, same place.
Were you in on the invasion of the Philippines?
No,
Were you gearing up for the invasion of Japan?
Well, I was in Okinawa when the war ended. We got there in Okinawa in May. And we hang around until the war was over.
What was your reaction when you heard about the atomic bomb?
I was glad. Everybody's hanging around there, been there a long time. Some playing cards, and nobody went hardly talking. Some guys laying in bed reading. And we're tied to a tanker bigger than ours, And we heard on the news that said, the bulletin news, and said, and then we listened to it, and they said Japan had accepted surrender, unconditional surrender. Boy, everybody come to life. They started firing went outside and started firing the guns everywhere, boy.
How long did the celebration last?
Well, they didn't let too long because they said it might be a trick in there. They made general quarters. They had to stop this.
Yeah.
Could be a trick, they said. And we had to wear helmets and everything out there. They brought all kinds of guns out there. You could feel them silence coming down on the deck, on the carrier, on that ship.
Was your ship ever hit by a torpedo or?
No.
Didn't the Enola Gay take off from Okinawa?
Do what now?
The Enola Gay that dropped the bomb in Japan? Didn't it take off from Okinawa?
No, I wasn't right there, but we never did know anything about it.
Yeah.
I didn't even mean. It's kind of secret anyway. Nobody knows about it, I guess.
Were you in the occupation of Japan?
I mean, about 2-3 weeks after the border, we went over there to Japan. And
Where'd you land?
we were working under the army. Huh?
Where'd you land?
Yokohama.
Yokohama. Tell me, what was it like getting off in Japan?
Well, it wasn't too much there. It seemed like most of the women and children there when they went out when we got there.
Were they friendly to you, or?
Well, they were scared the first time, but we started getting bar candy or chewing gum or something. The children started coming out and the women started coming out there.
How long were you in Japan?
How long we was there?
Yeah.
We was there about 3 or 4 months, and we come back to the States. Seven days of rough water. Boy, that's it.
Tell me about the trip back.
Well, it was something like a typhoon. The rough water, the water we drank turned red, looking rusty. Boy, they had that chlorine in there. Boy, it was what's supposed to be light bread. It was about this high bread we ate, and we just ate more than pork and beans. They opened the cans, they couldn't cook it. Water was so rusty. About 7 days.
7 days?
When you got out of the service, where'd you live?
Went back to Okima.
Okima?
Yeah. Yeah, we lived about 5 miles south of Okima then.
Is that on your family land?
Yeah, we had a family then, but they took it away from us. Some guy took it away from us.
Took it away from you?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Well, they said this guy here said he'd been paying taxes on it, and we told him we wouldn't tax it, but he said they told him that showed the receipt, but he wouldn't. He said, I don't have it. He didn't have that. They still took it anyway, and they sold it on the holiday too. On the ground floor in the courthouse in Okima.
Auction?
Huh? Yeah.
The auction?
The highest bidding on there wasn't nobody hardly in it. Just
When was this?
back in 70s.
1970?
Right. 75, somewhere, 74, somewhere.
You didn't try to fight it?
We tried it, we couldn't get no help.
How come?
Well, I got a lawyer, and this other guy got a lawyer, but they've been after it a long time. When we got the lawyer from Nichols Hill in Oklahoma City, they wouldn't let him talk. They wouldn't let him have any more time. They wouldn't give him no time to fight it.
Oh, that's...
We're gonna get on. We're working on to get it back though.
You trying to get
Yeah.
case organized now?
We're gonna try to get. We're gonna get no help from here.
Who's helping you now?
Well, we haven't got the lawyer yet. We're gonna get it. We're working on it. Yeah. My niece has been working on it. My niece's husband, he's been after it and everything.
So it's a shady deal.
Yeah, that
Sounds
one.
like something that happened more like at the turn of the century.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
It been happening all the time over in Okima. You can read
Okima?
Okima papers. You can, so-and-so didn't pay no tax and they're taking it, somebody's buying it. And it's been like a long time.
I thought the Indian land was restricted and you
Supposed to be, but-
and you didn't pay taxes on
Nobody paid tax on
it. Yeah. Not supposed to.
it.
That should be, I think that,
better. But before that, when you came back from the war to Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of, did you come back and do work in Oklahoma?
Well, around Williston, hauling hay and raking hay and all kinds of farm jobs. And then I went back to Los Angeles and worked in a packing house,
In Los Angeles?
Wilson Company.
how come you moved out there?
Just had to have something to do, work. There wasn't nothing around here. I was getting 30 cents an hour hauling hay. 10 hours a day, $3.
It says that.
$15 a week.
Did you go, did your family go to church down there somewhere?
They went to Springfield. My mother's church was Springfield Church.
Springfield Methodist?
Mm-hmm. And my daddy's was La Placa Church.
La Flaco?
Mm-hmm. That's where my dad, most of the family's buried over there.
In La Flaco?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been down there. Did you go to church?
Yeah. When I was around, most of the time I was around Arizona working there or Texas,
I see.
just here and there when I was
Wherever
young.
you were.
Yeah,
Mhm.
did you ever see Woodrow on Channel 8? Woodrow Haney?
Yeah. He was on television in Oklahoma City.
He was, yeah.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, playing his flute.
Yeah, Booger Smart. He used to make it. He used to make the leather stuff too.
Yeah. In fact,
Yeah, he was. He was good.
if you notice in the interview, there's some background noise. And we're in the shop.
Yeah.
And he's working, the car's going by.
Yeah, right there on Lewis.
Yeah. Do you remember anything else about the Uchi boarding school? Where'd you take your meals?
Meals.
Yeah, what'd you eat? In the dormitory, or did you have a separate building?
They had a dining room there and a kitchen and a dining room there.
Was it in the
they had-
dormitory?
Oh yeah, they just made the menus like they do here. That's all it was. Yeah.
In your average day at the boarding school, what time did you get up in the morning?
It must have been around. Well, it's probably start school at 8 o'clock.
And how long were you in class, and how long were you out in the fields?
Well, I don't remember too much about that. They probably had schedule and everything, I guess, but
Did you raise your own livestock, cattle, and?
my dad did, but I never did have anything like that.
I mean, was this at the boarding school?
No, sure.
But yeah, they had, milk cow, dairy born
Yeah.
there. They had milk their own cows and
Did
everything.
you raise your own beef?
They had done that, yeah.
Did you have your own packing plant there, your own slaughterhouse?
No, they didn't have no packing, but it's just for the milk, I guess they had a dairy, born there and, did Holstein cows.
Okay. Do you have any?
So, when did you move up here? Do you live in Okmulgee now?
Well, I live kind of stayed around the week, but I kind of hang around here and sleep here and then,
Oh, I see, but
but
still,
huh?
you still got a house down?
Well, I don't have no house now. They took that, when they took that 4 acres, they took the house, too.
Everything.
That meant that I needed a barn, so he tore it down, they made his barn out of it.
You live over very close to Oklahoma City, don't you? East of-
Yeah, my family, I've been trying to make him move back to Oklahoma, but
Yeah.
I can't get the deed to my land, and I got 26 and a quarter acres down there southeast of Oklahoma there, was by Bigham Schoolhouse, it used to be. I got my land surveyed off, my part of it, and I've been trying to get a deed to that.
When you were going to Uchi boarding school, did you ever go on any, the students ever go on any trips, like, away from the school to visit
I went to Mohawk Park back in 37.
Mohawk Park?
I remember that, yeah.
What would you go up there for?
Just to recreation, just go out and just going out. Sometime we went for a walk east Sapulpa there,
Just to get out and do
just to get out and walk and go for a walk. Yeah, we had teachers going with us, walking around.
Did you go into Sapulpa? Was there a town of Sapulpa then?
Well, I know a little bit. Well,
A little bit?
we had a man that joined us at home too, named Leonard Fraser. He used to take us. I used to go with him. He used to take me with him. Go to town, we'll look around.
And would you buy supplies or something?
No, he just He's just walking around shopping, I guess, for himself. And he'd take me with him. He'd buy me candy and everything. We played volleyball. He just him and I played a bunch of boys, you know.
There at the school, when you had recreation, did you play games like baseball or
We had a softball team.
Softball team.
Mostly marbles over here.
marbles?
Yeah. Play with marbles.
Did you ever,
Wrestling.
did you ever go to Indian stickball game?
No, I never have, but
Never.
oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
You've seen them?
I've seen them.
But when you were younger, did they have them back then, or do you remember?
Yeah, I remember South Oklahoma, they had a stickball. I remember seeing Model T Fords and a bunch of wagon teams.
Out at this.
Boys and guys come out bleeding and just laughing, talking, and nothing didn't happen.
So you went to you saw the game.
Hmm.
What are the rules of that game? How's the game organized?
Well, they say one brother get over here, east and west, I guess. One brother over here, one brother over here, nephew and nephew. That's what they do, I think. I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know how many's on the team, though. I don't know.
I heard the women even took part in the games.
Not that one.
Because I heard that the women
Yeah.
in the old days had a whip, and they'd whip the men back in if they tried to leave.
Oh, that part.
Yeah, that's what they would do.
They were rude in there.
But I think that was mainly Choctaws, when the women had
Yeah,
the whip.
the creeks down.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything else about those games or anything?
What about what now?
About watching those games? Do you remember anything else about them?
Well, that's about the only thing I know. Just fight it out, and when they get hurt, they carry them out and put somebody else in there.
How do you score a point in those games?
Well, I think there's only that look like a football goals. They had little like football. They threw it to it.
I thought if they had a cow head up there.
That's where the women play.
Oh,
Women played in
yeah,
that.
yeah.
This year's the man team.
Oh,
They call it a little war, I think. When I went to Tonkawa last one, but they quit the stomping dance over there, and I went up there and they had a stickball in there, and there's a policeman who wanted to get in there and stop that fight, and they told him not to get in there, and they kill you. He wanted to get in there and stop when they was fighting, you know, playing that stick. Whoa, one of them got his neck, nose broke and that.
yeah.
When was that? You remember that? When was that?
Yeah, it must have been back in the 40s.
Yeah.
That was the last time they had Tonkawa had a stomp there. They could eat that. The doctor closed it up. He said that's all he was going to do. You know.
The Indian doctor did.
Yeah. His name was Cook. I forget his first name.
That was the medicine man?
Yeah. He made medicine for
Did you ever take medicine, Indian medicine?
I was doctored by Indian medicine. Dave Lewis, old man Dave
Oh,
Lewis.
he did? Did you have some kind of sickness and he?
No, he just they just for protection again. They just gave us medicine, and he made a little tent like, and they made the rocks hot, you know, and they had some herbs on there and poured water on it, and sweat it out. It was something like a sweat bottle. Yeah.
Did you do?
Yeah,
Did you do?
back in 41.
Where were you?
In South Oklahoma there.
Oh.
And they take, you know, they call the cleaners them, direct that medicine. It had to be at a creek, little creek, running water.
Mhm.
You throw up in that water and it goes away. Big whole bunch of something.
Was that during, did you go to a ceremony there?
No,
It wasn't during a ceremony then?
no, it's kind of like
It was a special,
a private deal there.
I see.
There's girls laying up there sick, and we was up there, we was around there all the time. See, that's why he come out there and done that.
I see. Did he, so he was treating her?
He must have been doctoring her too and everything.
Doctoring her?
Then the rest of us just hang around there. And then,
Do you remember anything about it? She got better or
oh, she died.
did she die?
Yeah.
So he couldn't help her?
They said somebody had done something to her, something,
Yeah.
you know. And while she was still there, he's kid putting lipstick on it and rude and everything. She's still doing that till he's died. They said somebody had done it with that stuff, you know, like lipstick and all that. That's what I heard. I mean, I was about 16 years old then.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.